right?
This
So
conference
but
will
Yeah.
now be
the same
recorded.
time itself, yeah, the same time itself, I told you like whatever you completed, so that so if you share me the same folder structure, so that we can at least review that whatever you have done so far, so that we can I mean I can at least review the code and what are the other ways that we have to optimize that instead of writing more CSS, or instead of writing the required CSS properties, and we can remove that unnecessary things on that, so that it will be easy, right? At least
Mm-hmm.
I'll start reviewing the code you have written, or I'll start guiding you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at that the folder from you, but yeah, unfortunately you occupied with your work and you couldn't able to send that. That is
Yeah.
fine.
Could I send it today?
Hmm, yeah, you can. But the problem, see, usually when I suggested you on Friday, I would suggest you on over the, I mean, during the weekdays also, right? So when I get a more time over the weekends, I can visually look the properties and the style of working on that, and I can spend more time on it in other way.
Yeah.
So during the daytime, I mean, during that weekdays, right? I also occupied with work, and I couldn't able to focus. I mean, I definitely cannot put that much focus on it.
Hmm.
It's fine. Okay, no issue. But
We were gonna discuss
let me share my screen quickly.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, okay. So you understand that not the properties what we have, right? I mean,
Yes.
the transition related stuff, and what others we have we discussed on last working day.
Um yes.
What are the I mean CSS new properties we discussed? Do you remember?
We did like ease in or the timing, uh the time for
Okay.
transition.
Okay, so what we discussed is like 2D and 3D transformations, and the property that we have is transform, and we have that the property the values that we have is translate, rotate, square, and in rotates we have like a 2D rotation like an x-axis, y-axis, z-axis in the same way. Translate also we have same, and we discussed about scale and
Mm,
skew also. And apart from that, we discussed the transition. So, what is the transition property and how we can give, and what is the duration, and what is the delay, transition delay, and translation. I mean, transition timing functionality. Right? These are the
yeah.
points we discussed.
Mm,
Okay, that is fine. I think as you said, like you couldn't able to focus much due to the work, but fine. That is absolutely no issue. Yeah,
mm,
I'll continue the way like how I'm
mm.
explain the things and all. So yeah, it's based on your availability. Whenever you complete that, you can send them
Yeah.
maybe later when you get a time. It's up to you.
Yeah. Also another thing, I'm
Hmm.
gonna be having class like college classes on Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 to 10:45. So I was
Okay.
wondering if we would be able to push back by 15 to 30 minutes, preferably 30, so I have a
Uh,
break in between.
I mean that is fine. Like you can tell me in better. You can tell me. So we usually connect with 9 p.m. IST, right? You
Uh-huh.
can tell me IST time at what time you can connect those days.
Um, what it's 9, so 9:30.
Okay, 9:30 p.m. Right? IST time.
Let me make sure, but yeah.
Yeah, so during those days, yes, we can connect.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, but you just need to give some confirmation to me, and as well as that the coordinator, whoever is coordinating the sessions, right? So you can just convey them also, so that they will start the sessions accordingly.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but before 9 p.m. IST is quite difficult for me. After 9 p.m. IST, I'm fine. I mean, I can connect 9:15, 9:30. That is fine for me.
Okay.
But before
Yeah.
9 p.m. IST is will be difficult.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get start. So as we discussed on last Friday, right? So we are left with the main one of the key functionalities that animation, CSS3 animation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before that, I just want to explain like a one more, uh, you know, uh, I mean the property and all, but that is not exactly a property. So we have a kind of a selector. You remember, in one of the session you asked me like before and after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that we are going to look into this, what exactly before and after, and what is the main purpose of them. So usually, if you go with that and before and after, they will give you like, let us, if you simply if you Google it, right? CSS before, after. So what exactly it will, do, right? So if you see this, do we have any example for this? Yeah, let us see this example. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the same thing only we can try, in our one of our page in, about that HTML. So I'm going to remove everything here. I'll just paste this. Okay, not this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one div here, and I'm going to remove all the CSS class text what we have written. So for this I'm going to add one class as well. Div class is equal to before example. So I'm going to create a same class here instead of like a plain div here as well. Okay, so let us see what exactly that output that we may get here is about.html. Yeah, if you see there is some content here before and after, right? You
Yeah.
notice that?
Yeah.
Okay, but if you look at that HTML, pure HTML I'm talking, so there is no before and after here. We just placed an empty div and without a content here. But where
Mm.
exactly that we got that this before and after, and then we are not able to select them as well. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to make that select that the cursor itself is coming in a different way for this. And when you
Mm.
start that inspecting, so we can see div here, but unfortunately there is no content as we saw in the detail page HTML page as well. But when you extend this, I mean expand this, you can see like before and after here. And when you select before, what you have observed, like so we have this before, and the immediate property that we need to mention here is content. So content in the sense actual content only. It is not something different. So what I mean, so in other way, when you use a before and after, we can add some content through the CSS,
Mm.
not from the HTML, right? So
Mm.
let us say, so same before and after. If I make here before after, let us save and see. Now we got two before, before, after, after. Now you can see that there is a content here before and after. So
Mhm.
as we mentioned before, there is a content which is coming from the CSS, and there is a after also which is coming after the content. So when we say that before and after is not something like before this div, after this div, not exactly that.
Mm.
Whatever the content that we are going to place, that content before and content after.
Okay.
Okay, you are getting my
Mhm.
point. So
Yes.
this before and after is not. before of this div, not after of this div. Within the div itself, whatever the content that we are placing, so that is before and this is after. So what is the main purpose of before and after in real time? Is it simple as that, no, putting some content here like this only? No, not always.
Mm.
Okay, not exactly always we have. So this is a like a kind of example that where we just explaining that the content we can build from the CSS as well, to prove that we added the say content and all here. But what is the exactly advantage that we have is, if you look at this, the font awesome also we have placed it here, right?
Yeah.
And when you, okay, this is not actually font awesome, we added font awesome somewhere, right?
Yeah.
In index.html, or let us try the same thing as we have style.css also we have, if I'm not wrong, we enabled style.css. Okay, yeah, this is the font awesome only. Let us make one font here, I class fa hyphen heart. The same kind of wishlist icon will come here. About that HTML. Why didn't we? Okay, we
Mm.
have added the link in the only HTML file,
Mm.
as a index.html file only. We didn't add an import. So in another way to handle these kind of situations, right? Instead
Just
of
copy.
copying here and placing in import.html, what we can do, whatever the CSS file that we have right here, we can place this in, remove from here and remove this entire, and whatever the CSS that we have, right? If you
Mm.
place it wherever this, anyhow the CSS already linked with about.html, right? So here
Yeah.
we can add that, that import, so that it will work straight away instead of doing that. I believe
Mm.
it will work now. Yeah. Now if I inspect here, now you can see the same icon, and when you expand it, you can see only before a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what exactly they have written in the font awesome.css, they added some content here. This content is nothing but a kind of code, where this code is written, in font awesome.css file. So if you, as if you remember the statement that I told you, when we have a fonts where it support icons, so
Mm-hmm.
in our keyboard, if you add some letters or some
Yeah.
code, right, so it will
Yeah.
generate as a icon,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. It's like a
So
hex number.
in such a case, yeah, so in such a case, if you keep this F00 for this, what you call that, the slash and F00 for, if you put straight away here, it will become a content only. But
Mm.
write the same thing in content, the way the font and all is designed is like that only. Okay, and there is no always a rule that we need to put like before and after. Based on requirement, we can add only before, or we can add only after, or sometimes we can add that both before and after also.
Mm.
Okay, so you are getting my point, or you have any question?
Uh, so before, if you just do before,
Mm-hmm.
then is that like a label for the element?
Here you are
Yeah.
talking about that icon.
Above.
Yeah, so let's say example, now I'm going to remove this after. Okay, in the code
Mhm.
itself, I'm going to remove that this where this about.html. If I remove this, if I comment this, now you won't able to see after twice.
Mm.
Now if you see best from before only, we have that, when you select that before, the content is also coming from here only before, and actual before after we have. So the content, you can make anything here, you can mention anything here, like UI session, but it allows only text. Okay, but not here. You can write them in here itself.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
you're getting that.
Yeah.
So you cannot write something like HTML element here. It won't take like that. Like let us say that h1
But what's the point of it being only text?
If you remove, if you refresh it, see. So
Mm,
this is actually pure content only. It is not
mm,
considering as a, it won't read the HTML as it is. Okay. To answer your question, what exactly use of putting some content on? See, the first main point is the content which you are adding here is not something from the HTML. So so far what we know is whatever we have written within the elements, only those text only we can able to see here, right? But now
mm-hmm.
it proves the content before is proving before or after is proving me that we are wrong. So whatever you want to see in the web page within the element, we can add from the CSS itself, not from the actual HTML. So just
Mm,
we just added some simple UI section only here, right? So I can add a paragraph also here. But if you see actual code, you don't see anything, right, in the code.
yeah, it's just
Okay.
text.
Oh, okay. This is the purpose that they have added. But what in reality is not just to simply place this content. We can
Mm,
create anything. When we're talking about this, let us say now we'll see an output here. Okay. Now I'll show you here. Okay. Now we have a BG image. Okay. Display flex, align items, justify. Okay. Any of them is giving same. Okay. That is fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is now, if you look at the reference that we have is there is some slight shadow on this image. The image is not that much bright that we have. The reference which you gave me initially. There is a one layer on top of this image. Okay, that
yeah,
we can check the website, right? Or that something
mm-hmm.
this.
Because I remember when trying to
Yeah,
save the
yeah.
image, it
So if
would.
you see, yeah. If you see this, there is a one transparent, gradient image. It is
Mm,
not even the style image. It is a gradient image. So the options that we have is making gradient. When you select this, copy image address. So the gradient you will get here. Okay. So
yeah,
what we can do, just copy this entire URL. If you want to make here, what we can do here is this is the BG image, right? Somewhere around what we can do, we can add background image we have already. What we can we can add one more div here. Everything I'm making here itself, I'm not actually going to write in the code, but just for your understanding you can check.
mm,
So this div background, I okay, background URL. Okay,
mm-hmm.
and what I'm going to do is background repeat repeat. Now we have this image. We need to mention that width 100%. What is the height that we have given for this? 580. Height 580 pixels.
Mm,
Now if you see, no, we don't need actually repeat here, right?
yeah,
What we make here, that repeat is not actually doing actual repeat. Width is 100%. Auto, how it will be? Max width 100%. No. Mm, it should be 100%. I don't know why it is not actually taking. Okay, what we're gonna do is background size. You can apply background size here. Okay, Cover also not exactly is happening. Okay, I mean there is a clash here, I see. Instead of that, let us make this position absolute, and this parent element we can give position related. Yeah, and yeah, so we don't need anything now. If you see, there is some shadow right now here.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you
So
just do
what we
the
can do here.
Z? Okay.
So yeah, we need this. Yeah, yeah, I'll come to that point. Back background size cover, and yeah, let us see that we need that cover also or not. No, we don't need cover. Now we can remove it. Okay. So now what we can see this cell. Okay. So the radius we have given that radius for a BG image, whatever the radius that we have given 16 pixels. For this also we are going to give a border radius 16 pixels, right? Now we can see same 16, and it is looks like it is fitting. It has fitted. And what we are going to do is, so there is a conflict here now, right? We have a BG image. Within the BG image, we placed this one, and we have this content also. Now this content is going behind this image. I mean, this image in the sense, whatever the image that we took from the internet, right? This image.
Uh-huh.
So the option that we have is either we should add that z index to it. Okay. So for this, I'm going to add z index 9. So definitely we didn't add any z index for this. Okay. For temporary purpose, what I'm going to add, I'm going to add z index 1 here, and for this z index 2.
Mm.
Remember z index we discussed, like
Yeah. Yes.
to
Layers.
bring
Mm.
or to move to back. Okay, that is how
Mhm.
we can handle this. This is the
Mm.
one way of method, okay, where we took small image like this, and we can repeat that. I mean, repeat in the sense we can add that that box size cover and all. We can add that.
Mm.
This is the one method to make that. But what we need to make this output is definitely an image.
Yeah.
A gradient image is definitely required,
Mm.
right, to build this. What other options that, okay, now you are clear with, right? I'm going to reload this and everything will be gone. Okay.
Yeah, I'm clear.
How to, like, do and all, because I didn't add any new properties here, the same properties only we did.
Mm.
Okay, yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
So this is the one way. Yeah, I'm just reloading this. Yeah, this is the one way. And second way is, we can create a one more div. Okay, so we can within this BG image only, I'm going to create a one, edit as HTML. I'm going to create a one more div here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the same properties: position, absolute, width 100%, height. Sometimes we can add that height inherit also. So inherit is what exactly it is. Whatever the, okay, first let us add that position relative to this image, because the child element we have used already absolute. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, so we use that height as an inherit, like how it will take. So it will take that parent height, instead of we are giving some like 500 pixels or something like that. We can give like this. Okay, this is the one other way that we can add. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add background color here, black,
Mm.
and border radius is 16 pixels. Now if you see, so we created a box here, right, within this VG image. Okay, and instead of giving this blank, what we can do, whatever the CSS gradient generators, right? We have CSS gradient generators.
Mm.
If you make any reference that we
Would you
have,
just get rid of the color?
yeah, I mean the whatever the color code that we have, right? In the same way, if you make that, right,
Uh-huh.
CSS gradient generator for mask. no, not this one. This is gradient overlay or image. Gradient overlay or image generator. Yeah, this is something. Okay, there is some overlay on it. So what we are going to do is we are going to just copy this linear only we need. Now let us see any reference. No other reference. We can use this. So, okay. When it comes to this, instead of background, what we can do is we can add linear here, and we can change the colors here. When you select this, and this also we can what we're gonna add. So okay, whatever it is, the point is we have to match with that anyhow we can take that call at any point of time.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to this, there is a element here. What I'm going to do is z index is 2. What we can add, z index is 1. No, it is not working because okay, there is no image, it's a pure div. Position absolute, but 0 -1. Yeah, we can add a -1 also. Okay, so now you can see kind of what we need to do is we need to add this color palette and all whatever the color that you can add here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
still, but same kind of gradient effect we made, but there is no image now, right?
Yeah.
You're getting, so unnecessarily we are unnecessarily we are not loading one image, but now we have removed that image, so there is no
Yeah.
unnecessary
Awesome.
load
Yeah.
of image, so purely on CSS. Now here is the one more scenario. Now the same way, and if you look at that previous example, and now also we use that same kind of div only,
Mm-hmm.
but now what we can do on top of it, there is another way also. Okay, I'm just reloading this page again, and when it comes to this PG image itself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a style.css line number 132. 132 is for this image. I'm going to add PG image before. So just reload this, and when you select this data, okay, we need to add a content. I don't have any content to give, just I'm adding that empty string. Now before is
Mm-hmm.
added here, and now to see whatever we can write for this before. So width 100%, height inherit, position absolute. So when we are giving position, the parent we have to give immediately position relative for this before, whatever that
Sorry.
gradient. Let us find that if we get any output. We see they also gave that before and after only. Hmm. Okay, we'll focus on this. We'll copy this. We don't really need all of them, but I'll start explain like one by one. Yeah, and just
Mm-hmm.
paste here, and I'm going to add one more thing. Z index is -1. Okay, when we give a -1, what is the point here? When we give that it is going behind it. So I'm going to add a 1 here. So when it comes to this, now we need to make sure to add, probably if it is not working straight away, we need to add content here. Yeah, next to, and before, what we're gonna add, the same kind of color. right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we need to add that border radius 16 pixels.
For
Yeah,
this one,
he,
can you do the thing where like it's under one class but the properties are similar, so you put it together?
yeah. So yeah. So the point is, earlier that in the first implementation that we did with the image, and we used that one div also for that. Second is
Mm.
we removed that image, but still we use that one more div. So now we are not actually using any div. So there is no unnecessary div also.
Mm.
All right, there is no unnecessary div. So the same properties, whatever we applied in the same way, we have now applied for a one before. Now before also a selectable now. Now if you select before also, you can able to see what is the total width of that before. Now the before also can be contain no contain as an image. I mean, sorry, a div. Okay.
Mm.
Now the same thing you can add for after also. But usually when we have this kind of effect, we usually prefer before only. But if you see the other link which we saw that somewhere here, right? So they use that before and after also here.
Mm.
Okay. So they have used it after here. After only they have used. There is no before or what. Okay. But here is the main intention of making that before. Okay. Before or after, whatever it is.
Mm.
But if you see in the internet, like there will be like a lot of information that we have. All will be like most of the cases to before and after, right? We are going to create a small icons. We can build icons also using with before and after. Not even we
Oh,
are using the fonts also. Yeah, yeah. But definitely those are like once you start, I gave an example of yesterday, I mean, the last Friday, right? There
yeah.
are a lot of source that we have. Let us say if you need some examples of image overlay and all, right, that we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
So you really no need to do all of them in your own way, right? Whatever the
Mm.
effect you like it, you can simply copy that effect and you can use in your website. In the same way only, there will be like a lot of source, but what you need end of the day is you just need to know how to utilize it. Otherwise, you
Mm.
won't get it. So whatever the effects that we have seen in last Friday, all the properties we already discussed it by the time. Like you can see that a transform, translate, scale, all of them we have seen. But we really don't know how we mix all of them together. What kind of effect will come? If you want to make a kind of effect, you definitely need to put lot of efforts to build that effect. But the
Mm.
very good advantage that we have is, I mean, definitely it is an advantage. In other way, it is a disadvantage also. I'll tell you, like what advantage it is. You really no need to do anything from the scratch. Trust me. In real time also, we are not going to make anything from the scratch. Because if I need something, some kind of form, user inter form, okay, the kind of a form, I straight away go to Google, and like I'll find it like some responsive form, like a bootstrap form.
Mm.
So I'll definitely get a bootstrap and nice good user interface form along with the source code. I can simply copy that code and I can paste into my website, and I can, yes, it is done. That is the advantage that we have. So again, the same way, what is the disadvantage that we have is, now as long as the code is visible to everyone, and everybody can able to do that, obviously, right?
Mm.
The only, most of the people doesn't know the technique. All these things all will be available in the internet, and the prompt also required when you enter something, and when you find something in the internet also, it is very required. So most of the people doesn't know this technique, and people who know the technique, right, they will definitely handle this. But the disadvantage we have is, then there will be no much weightage for your work, right? See, obviously people will say, no, everything will get it from the internet. No, then what is the point that you can do something from the scratch?
Yeah.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's what
you
I'm
understand,
thinking. Like,
right?
yeah, when I was redesigning the website, I was thinking like I don't think I could do it from scratch yet.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you no need to do, because that nowadays responsive site also you will get it. And otherwise, what you mean, you trust me, like I have like an almost 14 years of experience. Very early, though early is the days itself I did something from the scratch. After that, when I have expertise and all, I straight away go to any of the template and I can download the source code and all.
Mm,
Otherwise, there are a lot of websites which give a premium websites which say like a matter of like $15 to $20.
mm,
I straight away purchase them and I can do whatever the required changes and all. Then I'll hand over to whoever the required people. So I'm really not putting my entire efforts on it to build from the scratch. The only thing which I'll do is like I'll change the labels and all and content and maybe color combination as per their requirement. Nothing else. So they will give everything to me. So the way it is, the one way it is like advantage where we can build very quickly. So the other way is, I mean, there is no value of it because everybody is clearly understands it. But still, the problem is majority of the developers, mainly for a backend developers, they will really feel that fear that when they want to touch the CSS code because they don't know anything. See, even though we have a lot of resource and all, they really don't know how to utilize it.
mm,
Still, that is the reason people are surviving. Otherwise, there is no role of UI person in the market, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and the second thing is when somebody asks you that, okay, this is very easy and you can, copy the code and all, and you can complete in within a day of time. But the immediate thing that you should tell them like, do you think that the look and feel will really match the design which you want? No, right? So they will give you some other design. So you need to customize it to as per your requirement and whatever the UI markup that you have designed. So you
Mm,
need to do customization, right? Absolutely. Because
mhm.
if client need a simple kind of website and all, why they will come to you first? They will also do the same kind of thing. They will also can purchase the premium template and they can do. Why they're still reaching that UX people to gives giving some time to them to create their brandings, login pages, or layouts and all.
Customization.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the advantage and disadvantage. But again, still majority of the people doesn't not aware of the how to utilize the proper way doing the CSS and all.
Mm,
Okay. Yeah. So when we talk about like now more before and after, right? CSS before after hover effect. So we can do that before hover effect. See that. Let us see. Yeah, this is with the before only. Of course, we have a gradient and all, but yeah, still.
mm.
What other way after examples? What we will gonna get it? Yeah, we can do something like this. Still the same thing we can do with normal div also, but yeah. So that the additional advantage probably when something is not loading, maybe it may work. So that the content and all we can post here.
Mm,
This is not the best example. CSS before after triangles. Triangle after triangle. CSS triangle. So I mean the usage that which we know is completely different. What uh, internet is going to give for us.
mm,
Yeah, if you see, all we can build with pure CSS only.
oh, I was gonna ask how to make a triangle. before.
Sorry.
I was gonna ask in the last class how to make a triangle.
Oh no, I see. I mean, there are a lot of examples. That's what I'm saying.
Mm,
Yeah, so yeah, we can. I mean, it is purely a matter of like adding border in a correct way. But trust me, even when you suddenly, if you ask me that create a triangle and definitely I'll take some time because it's all like initial days when we'll really focus on it. But now everything, the resource and all is there, right?
mm,
We definitely don't. But we know we can customize it because we know that what how to make that.
yeah.
Arre baapre, it is asking. Yes, yes. I'm just looking. I mean, there is some kind of generators also we have, like how we generated. Yeah, see this.
Oh, I was gonna ask, how do you
Yeah, if it
use
is a, if you see, yeah, please tell me.
how do you use ChatGPT to get like good results when asking questions?
Okay, I mean that is completely based on the questions that we have, right? Now, if you see
Mm-hmm.
before is making like this, if you observe this, what
Mm,
is the properties that we have? You can check that, content, display block, width 0, height 0. So what they have done is, border top 12 pixels, border bottom, border left. There is no border right, and
mm,
edit this. Now we can move this. This is actual thing, right?
yeah.
But if you see, there is no icon for it. So simply, what is the properties? There is no other properties that we have. You see, content we just discussed: the display width, the height, the border top, border bottom, border left. So we know that border is for four places, like four sides: top, right, bottom, left, and there is no border right for it. If you observe this, and position
Yeah.
absolute is right, position absolute and all is like to have such a movements like right top. If you move them all of them, somewhere you will get this. Somewhere it is here. If you add a border, yeah, and if you see there is a transparent also. Instead of adding color, we all know like color, but we can add a transparent. So when we give a transparent, right, PNG image, right, that much of
Yes.
transparent we will get. So
Mm,
if you just copy only these properties also, of course this content and all is required, you will get it.
mm,
Such a thing you can add for any of them, like like all this also you can do. And
mm.
there are a lot of effects for sure. You may get like all these icons and all. If you see, one second, that's no.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So if you see before and after only here also,
Mm.
and what other we have? Yeah. So this is a kind of a generator.
Okay.
What you need is simply to copy this code, nothing else.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
easy. Mm-hmm.
And this is straight away. There is no before and after also. You just need to copy this code. That's it.
Mm.
Because the color under they give and four sides they have mentioned that transparent only. Width they have given in here.
So before and after is not always necessary?
I mean, that is based completely based on the requirement. See, right now, okay, simple thing, okay. Try to understand in this way.
Mm.
For only if you to make triangle, if you create a one div, which is wrong in general way, because to make this we have already a before and after, right?
Mm-hmm.
With it before and after also we can do this. So then, such a case, how now? Let us say example, you have added a triangle class here, right? How you gonna add in HTML, right? The same way. First of all, like this, right? Div class. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Class is equal to, okay, what is the class name that we have? Is triangle, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what you are going to use. Am I right?
Yeah.
Now, let us say if you add something here within this for a content, whatever the content that you can place here, like hello. Now, what is going to happen? This triangle won't work because this, if you make something like this, you cannot put anything. This div, this triangle div only for to make this. Instead
Mm,
of that, if you add a triangle here, you can put whatever the content you want, like hello text, whatever the class that properties that we have here. If you make it, it makes sense.
mm,
But again, here also a problem will come for sure, because when you whatever the content you are posting here is, it is completely depend on it.
mm,
Instead of this, make an image here, or if you want to create a box and all here, right? Then it will work. For sure. So now you are writing a triangle, and in such a case, you can write a triangle. You can add a properties for triangle also, right? This is for a
mm-hmm.
triangle. Whatever the content that you want to put, and this is purely for a before. So that icon also, triangle icon also will come.
Mm,
Okay, I mean, there is no point that So we should go with only this way, or we should go with only this way. It is purely based on the requirement. That is the reason there is no specific thing in CSS and all, or not any, not just in the CSS and HTML. When it comes to development, there is no rule kind of thing. This is the only way that we have, because if you remember that today only we have done three kind of ways to build this,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is no such a way that we need to follow only this. But end of the day, you have to complete that requirement, and what are the options that we have is you need to look into that.
Mm,
That's it. And there will be a
okay.
lot of effects for sure. Like you will get it to to check all the options under.
Mm,
Right.
yeah.
Any question?
No.
Hmm.
Are we going to be covering Bootstrap this week?
Of course. Why not?
Okay. Okay.
Do you have any problem?
Oh, no.
Oh no. Okay. Bootstrap is our immediate priority.
Mm,
What I want to start that I want to push that animation also to at least some extent, so that we can start Bootstrap, as it is
mm,
not that much thing. But yeah, I thought at least if I give some heads up to animation, so that you can at least get that information how it is going to use.
mm.
But yeah, we'll start the Bootstrap if you okay. We can I can start the introduction of Bootstrap today, and we can continue tomorrow onwards.
Okay.
Bootstrap only.
That works.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the official website of Bootstrap. Getbootstrap.com. As I told you, there will be more versions in it. Whatever the version you want to check, you can check. Right now it seems it is showing version number 5.3. These
Mm,
are common things which we have, but what exactly Bootstrap it is, now I'll tell you. I'll show you some examples. Okay, first.
okay.
Mhm. Yeah. Now if you see. You have some buttons here, right? Like
Yes.
primary, secondary, success, danger, warning, and all of them. What we're gonna do is in about.html, I'll remove everything. I'll place the button here. Button type equal to button only. Mm, add to cart, and I'm going to remove. For this add to cart, what I'm going to do is I class equal to fa hyphen cart. Let us see we have this cart or not. When you check the demo.html, we have a thing, but not sure. What we cannot do is we're gonna add a div class equal to container, and I'm not going to add any class for a container like this. Okay, we have container already in CSS, I guess. Yeah. Why this cart is not coming? Maybe we do not have a cart class in it or not. Okay, let us check. Shopping cart we have. Let us try here. Yeah, just reload this. And what I'm going to do is this is the bootstrap uh, example. I am going to use bootstrap CDN link. You know, right? CDN link. How we did for a font awesome, how do we did for a Google font. In the same way, I'm going to copy bootstrap CDN link. Okay.
Mm.
Mm, what I'm actually looking, yeah, I'm going to copy the bootstrap link. I'm going to paste in style.css file at the rate import. Oh, no, no, no. What we need is only this link. Copy and paste, and make sure whatever the link that we are copying, that we should check first whether it is working or not. Yeah, there is some code on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to put in our index.html. So now about.html. Now what I am going to do is, now you have seen this, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Now let us copy everything. Let us reload this. There is some difference that you have seen here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because before adding the bootstrap of CSS file, after adding the CSS file, have you seen any difference?
Yeah, it moved and got bigger.
Okay. Now let us now now let us remove this again. See, the
Mm.
image, I mean, no, not image, the border, the spacings and all is by default been added. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one class btn, only btn I'm going to add. Just reload this. Have you observed anything? There is no border and all now, right?
Yeah.
Now btn hyphen primary.
Oh.
Interesting, right?
Is this like, do they have their own style sheet?
Yes, that is the
Okay.
only bootstrap thing.
Mm.
Okay, Bootstrap has that, the I mean, they only prepared their own way of styling and all. What we have to do is first we have to understand that what are the things that we have. See, the primary and all I didn't use in my own.
Mm.
This primary we have a class it. For success also we have a class. Now, anyhow, that CSS is there here. What I'm going to do is success. See,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So, in other words, to build everything Bootstrap will provide for us. For example, if you need a header, right? See, there is a headers here. You can simply copy this code and you can change the what you call navigation and all. And the good thing here is it is responsive.
Mm.
The good thing here is responsive. See, the
Yeah.
content is being adjusted to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting my point.
Yes.
Yeah. So in simple terms, Bootstrap is a framework where it will provide us for each and every component, most of them, and along with the grid system as well. So where we can use that grid system. So the grid system itself is a responsive. So we just need to follow their instructions simply.
Mm.
On top of it, we can customize it because what are the scenarios that we may get in terms of customization? Maybe instead of this green, you may need some other green in
Mm.
your page. As per this, you just need to change the color code, nothing else. You no need to change anything. Now if you want more padding and all, you can add that, because when you select that buttons, right, we have, I think, different btn we have, right. Let us say btn hyphen small. The sizes also we may have, I think so. I'm not, don't remember. Yeah, when you put lg, you will get a large button. When you
Mm.
get md, you will get a medium.
Mm.
Right. So everything is provided. The only thing we have to do is what we have to do as per this classes and all. We just need to understand that, what is the instructions that they have provided. Nothing else.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah. But the only point is we have to just focus on it. What exactly they provided to us.
Mm.
You cannot use something you were in. You cannot use something the classes which you want. So the entire thing they only provided. See, if you want to build something pricing template like this, you can simply copy this code.
Mm.
You really no need to do something, build from something from the scratch, and it is more responsive as well. If you see,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On high level, this is the bootstrap, but what we have to do is there is a documentation here for each one of them, for images, for responsive images. They will provide the classes as well for forms. If I just simply copy this, right, and if I make here, let us save this about.html, I'll get this entire form, but I'm going to make it to class call hyphen md hyphen 4. Let us save this. I'll make this container above and just comment this. See, your form is ready.
Oh.
What you have to do is you need to change the labels if you want, or you can do whatever you want.
Mm. But is this what most people use?
Of course, most people is because when
Yeah.
when people are giving like this, why people are start refusing this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But nowadays there is, one more competitor is came into picture, but not exactly competitor of Bootstrap. Okay, that is Tailwind. Slowly, this is also becoming popular. This is very easy. It's the same way. What how see how they are actually writing the classes and all, right?
Mm,
See, end of the day, it is also a template. Obviously, what we have to give when you get started, right? It is also going to give a CDN link to you. What you need to do is you need to just copy this CSS and all, whatever they provide. See, add the place CDN script to your HTML. So they are providing the script to us. So just copy the script and we can place into our web page. So automatically everything we can use it.
mm,
Yeah, but now once if you understand like any one of the framework like Bootstrap, you can learn any of the future frameworks as well. There's no point on
mm,
it because you should know like what is the class name of this MB3. They gave that MB3 what exactly it is. If you we anyhow we have copied this, right? And if you look at this MB3, it is there here. MB3 has they gave some margin bottom. MB3 they gave like a one REM. We can discuss like REM, PX, EM and all. Okay. If you make that in MB2, there is no MB2 by the way. MB3 only we have, but do we have MB4? No, MB4 also we do not have in Bootstrap. MB3 only we have.
mm.
Okay. And form control class, if you see form control. So form control they have added some classes on it, but don't worry, it is something coming .scss. It is not exactly required for us, but I'll explain what exactly SCSS is. It
Okay.
is not part of our course, but I'll give you a heads up on this, what exactly it is and how it is going to work.
Mm,
Okay, you see the properties and all is something like we know already, except this where and all, right?
mhm.
Yeah. So that the subject is Bootstrap is this much easy. The only thing is you just need to focus, nothing else.
Got it.
Yes, if you're not focusing on it and if you really occupied with your stuff, then it is going to be a bit difficult. So you can plan accordingly.
Mm,
Okay,
mhm.
we'll focus on Bootstrap and we'll try to finish few examples like how we utilize it and how we're gonna write under by this weekend.
Okay.
So at least you will get a clarity of HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and combined how to utilize three of them together. And next week onwards, we'll focus on JavaScript.
That works.
Okay.
Okay.
Sheila then.
Yeah. Thank
Meanwhile,
you.
try to
Hmm.
focus on it.
Yeah. On Bootstrap?
I mean, you